This
August 4th,
conference will now be recorded.
work session and regular meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the work session minutes of August 4th.
And council? In the council
I
meeting?
think you have to do them separately.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I think I lumped them.
Okay, that's fine.
I always have in the past.
Okay.
You're right.
Any further discussions? All in favor? Opposed? Passes 5-0, or abstain, sorry. Passes 4-0-1. Review the regular meeting minutes from August 4th.
I'll make a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes of August 4th.
Any further discussions? All in favor? Opposed? Abstain? Passes 4-0-1. Accounts payable, Bob Preeby.
There was a few that just stand out. First one was 76,277 for the CETA, 7,252.92. And the other one, I noticed the larger one was for engineering for just general sewer, water and sewer, 76,312. That brings the total of accounts payable to $45,903.14. I make a motion to approve.
Second.
How much did you say?
It's fine, not the one.
Not the 90.
You should. Right, correct, yes.
Yeah, two different numbers.
We had a last second change, like, just before the meeting.
So we got a second. Any further discussions? All in favor? Opposed? Passes 5-0-0. Thanks, Bob. Public comment time. Individuals may address the city council about any items of concern. Speakers must state their name and limit their remarks to 5 minutes. Any public comments? I will close public comments time. 8A, temporary liquor license, Lions Club Craft Brew for Festival. Brian.
Yep, Miranda put the paperwork together for this. This is for the Lions Club, who is sponsoring the craft brewery event at the Covered Bridge Festival. So just need to approve a temporary liquor license for them.
I will make a motion to approve the temporary liquor license.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Passes 5-0-0. 8B, police officer recognition and job posting. Patrick.
Even if we don't vote on it, then you can't.
I would agree.
Well, as you may have read in the memo, Officer Brian Ormsby did follow through. I mentioned last council that we were going to have an officer send in a resignation, and he did accept a job with Lake City Police Department. And we do wish Brian well. He will be here through the end of the month, filling the shifts he has, with the exception of a couple that he had taken off. But aside from that, he did state that he would like to move to a part-time status, so he can still be on our part-time roster and help us out in those times of need. But with that said, that leaves a vacant position, and I'm requesting that we advertise for a full-time police officer.
We need a motion to advertise for a full-time police officer.
Any further discussions? All in favor? Opposed? Passes 5-0-0. Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
8C, quote for removal of basswood trees on Mill Street in between 2nd and 3rd Street. Mike.
We've got 6 trees there that are pretty tough shapes and city staff will departments are dropping.
Actually lost a big branch on Monday morning.
Off my tree again? Oh, wait, no, that already happened.
Any questions for Mike?
Is that just come out of the tree fund? Budget, there's a tree item, line item, like that, it's the trees. Okay.
Yep, for the removals like this, the onesie twosie comes out of that fund. If it's a project like West Avenue, that came out of the project, so.
Well, I'll go ahead and make a motion to accept the bid from Heartland Trees for the amount of $3,600. Second.
Any further discussions? All in favor? Opposed? Passes 5-0-0. Thanks, Mike. 8D, variance, accessory structure. Mr. Dillon.
Yes, a variance request came in last month regarding an accessory building at 45884 County 10 Boulevard. If you're familiar, this is just inside our city limits. It's about the only house over there on that side of the highway, outside of the Jacobson Business Park. The variance stems from 3 different parts. One of them is exceeding the maximum allotted square footage. The second is the footprint of all the accessory structures on the property are greater than the principal structure. And the third is that the design and appearance being different than that of the principal structure. So to summarize it, Mr. Johnson has a small home and a couple sheds already. And he's in essentially what's ag land, a bunch of agriculture land, but he is zoned R1. So his pole shed that he wants to construct is another accessory structure, which goes against the R1 zoning, planning and zoning ordinances, and it's quite big. So talking with Matt, we decided to tell him to apply for a variance, and we'll hear his story, and here we are. But to continue on, a public hearing was held August 10th. And after that, plus discussion, the Planning Commission recommends approval for the variance at the 45884 County 10 Boulevard, citing our planning and zoning ordinances, subdivision 12, letter A, number 3, that it will not alter the essential character of the locality and that it falls in line with future planning for the area.
Any more questions for Dillon?
Want a motion to approve the variance?
I do.
So moved. Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0-0. Thanks, Dylan. 8E, sanitary district update. Brian.
Yeah, each community is giving this same update. So every council is hearing the same thing. They've completed the feasibility study and they're recommending a 4 million gallon per day treatment plant to be located within a half mile of the existing treatment plant here in Zumbrota. The optimal spot to bring all the force mains in. It's pretty much in the center. So, there's a bunch of information on there about flows and all that stuff, distances. The force mains will be constructed within existing road right-of-ways where they would follow highways, which would make it so we won't have to purchase land from people or easements from people to run it through their land. Another recommendation was to build a centralized retention basin to handle extra flow. So high water level events, all that extra flow, rather than building the plant to handle that right away, you retain it and trickle it off a little bit slower. They looked at having one in each community and found that it was roughly the same cost to just build a centralized one. And then so not every community is maintaining a basin like that. Came up with about 68,574 or 575 estimated in today's cost. So by the time we get going, we're looking for $75 million. So we're going to revise our
Say 68,000?
68 million.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
I was like, gee.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Oh, that's cheap.
Todd's rubbing off on me over
Right. So, that rate.
So we're going to ask for 75 million rather than the original 70 million that we asked the legislators for. There's slides in here. I didn't bring one in here. I gave you the slides printed out. But I think that kind of sums up, and the big savings in this thing is going to be the operation and maintenance cost over the years. It's going to cost some money to get into it. We're asking for 75 million. If we get half of that, you'll see in these slides, number of pages back, we've got the breakdown of cost allocation for each community at this point at the $68 million level. That looks to be about 28 million or 25 million, just about 26 million for us. But, you cut that in half with funding, or maybe a little more if we get PSIG funding for each community. That's another funding method. So
Well, that was my question, Brian. Can we ask for more than half? I mean,
yeah, the way.
they'll go ask for all of it.
Usually the way
They pay
state
for all of
bonding
it.
works, they'll give you half, but we're hoping to get more than that. We're hoping to get some dollars, about $4 million out of the infrastructure money that's coming, or that the state got from the rescue plan dollars. That's the
federal
first bill, yep.
Good.
And then 35 or 38 million or more on the ask. We're left at 75 million.
The full amount, and that was just one thing, and we have
Yeah, it was
multiple
22 million. So.
entities.
Yeah, so it could very well be a lot more that we get,
I would hope so.
because the legislators, we're talking about making this the model for future cooperative things like this.
It
So,
makes sense on all fronts.
Yeah. yep. So they're gonna be, depending on the state budget or the state funding or whatever funding we get from the state and PSIG and that type of stuff, our costs could be lower than we think they'll be now. But again, the real savings is down the road as the operation and maintenance and the economy of scale. So that's where we're at right now. We had a legislative meeting on Tuesday, a legislative committee meeting on Tuesday, and we're going to connect with all the legislators again just to see if we're moving in the right direction. We're going to develop a informational pamphlet for them. We're going to get on the bonding tour or tours. We know there's a Senate one, but we're not sure on the House. This Representative Jaskowski talked about a House one too. The other thing we did was submit information to the governor's bonding bill to try and get on that, to get on his recommended bill. We're a little late on that, but we're told we can still get in there. So if the legislators will tout it, maybe we can get on that as well. We're including the Prairie Island community in this. That's in the bill as well. They're anticipating building however many houses out there.
75.
A lot, yeah. How many?
75.
Really? Yeah, yep. So with all that, hopefully we can make this go. It's May 22nd of next year is when we're looking at, we'll know somewhere around there if we're included in the bonding bill. So that's just an update.
Perfect. Any questions for Brian?
No, but I just really want to recognize Mike for
Yes.
kind of his foresight on this whole project, because it's kind of been one of those pocket projects of his for a long time. Because I think, he saw the need and how resources could be shared among these communities instead of hitting all these communities with their own plans. So, kudos to you for just the collaboration with these communities and really looking at the others, the EOTAs and Plainviews and really understanding how those work. And so I really just appreciate you continuing to move this forward and getting it to the point where we're actually looking at a shared structure that's feasibly sound. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that too. For when I came and Mike started talking about this, I said, well, what's a sanitary district? So Mike had to educate me quite a bit along the way too. So yeah, definitely appreciate it. And it's a heck of an undertaking, and
Absolutely.
he's done a tremendous amount of work on it to get it to this point.
So are these other three communities part of this? Are they still gung ho and still want to go forth with this?
They put dollars towards it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That was what our last,
Okay.
the last time we voted on putting some engineering costs,
Yeah, because they needed to move quicker than, yeah.
Yeah.
which in all reality, they likely did not. And I think that's and I don't know what I hope that their citizens
Yeah.
know what they're doing there, because I don't know how they're going to pay for it unless it's paid for by the state. Don't know.
Yeah. So everybody's
It's unfortunate.
all in. You know, we've spent up engineering dollars. I think Pine Island spent all theirs. We've spent most of ours. Good Use got some left, so the engineers are doing a great job too, kind of sharing. Like, okay, you've got dollars left, you develop the presentation that, you know, so
Good.
they're kind of all working off of each other. It's fun to watch.
So that 75 million is going to get it up and running from each community to the central, right? There ain't going to be any extra costs on top of that.
Well, $75 million project, you know.
Yeah.
Hope not.
Perfect.
And that is estimating a little high.
45 million and $2.
Yeah.
And you have to fund that.
Okay.
I got one question, right? When they talk about part of the cost allocations, part of it is in transport. And this plant's gonna be very close here as well. Are they taking the total transport costs and dividing that up by that same percentage?
Yes, right now we've agreed that it will be a district cost. It'll be all district cost. Yes. Yep. And we will still be responsible for our local infrastructure, of course. Each community will be. But right now, it's all set up as a district. We're all in it together. Whatever the cost is shared based
Based on
on,
population.
well, based on population or flow and
Yeah, and your other things, like.
Yep.
Those abbreviations.
And yeah, and this could change just a hair depending on DFA and future plans out there and whether they can get their own discharge permit. So
Not looking favorable.
this could be massaged a little bit more yet.
So, good, this is exciting. Lots of work.
Thanks, Brian. Resolution of 2021-13, grant agreement to state aid transportation fund. Brian.
Yes, this is kind of a twofold. I think we should probably do it in two motions, actually. The first one is approving a local road improvement grant program grant agreement, which is all the paperwork talking about. This is part of it is for $450,000, which is the design engineering portion. So the way the state will dole money out from that, from our 3 million, is design engineering. And I think there might be 2 more yet of these that we'll have to do. But for now, this is what we've got. And there would be a motion and a second approval on the grant agreement, and then a motion, a second approval, and an approval on the resolution to accept the dollars, basically.
You need 2 separate motions.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to accept the grant agreement.
Oh, sure. Make it easy.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Passes 5-0-0.
And then I can make a motion to approve the resolution 2021-13.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Passes 5-0-0. Thanks, Brian. Set a date for council retreat, which I believe we did that in our work session. Or did I write it down? The 9th from 4 to 6. So I just need a motion to approve that retreat to finalize our budget talks. And do we have to call it a retreat? A work session?
What should we call it?
I feel like I'm not staying overnight. I don't know. It just,
Pack your buffalo bag.
when you said Rev, I went, what is he talking, like a weekend or what?
That's what Brian said he wanted to call it. Okay. Second? Any further discussions? All in favor? Opposed? Passes 5-0-0. Reports, Brian.
Yes. American Rescue Plan Act. I reached out to the committee members today by email and asking for best times, you know, evening meetings, morning meetings, middle of the day meetings. So we're going to get a meeting put together here shortly. I also included some links to the information, a good share of the information. League of Minnesota Cities website is the best source of information. They're providing a lot of guidance on what the dollars can be spent on, what they can't. And they're my resource. If I got a question on that, I just send them an email and they'll look into it and send it back. So Jefferson is moving along on design. We will have a public meeting here at City Hall on Wednesday, September 22nd at 6 PM. The mayor and all the council can be here, but if you're all together, you can't talk about it. You can't, because it's not an official meeting. We'll send you to corners or something.
Don't sit next to each other.
Yeah. Yep, and that's the way these things are typically done. You're certainly welcome to be here, but so WH Gas will have a big, long map on here, and they'll have markers, and they'll do a little presentation what they've designed, and then whoever's here will get to walk through and make comments and suggestions, and they'll write them down with the marker, very similar to the way we did the pre-design meeting.
When was that?
September 22nd at 6 PM.
Wednesday?
It's a Wednesday, yep.
Wednesday, the 22nd at 6.
22nd.
Yep.
Any more, Brian?
Yes, Mill and Sixth Street reconstruction. I don't know if anybody reads Facebook, but there's been some comments
Oh, I
about
do
Mill
not.
Street out there. So, no, we've been thinking about Mill Street and Sixth, or Mill and Sixth West for a while now. And, we had two water main breaks on Sixth within, 20 feet of each other, I think. So that one's been on the schedule, and we need to get that done. We thought we were going to be way short on dollars to do Mill next year. Kim's been crunching numbers and scenarios, and we think we might be able to get there to do both if that's what the council chooses. We still have a little figuring to do to make sure we work out. Mike and I met with WH Bill and Scott from WHKS to talk about today's dollars. We had the old quotes or the old estimates, and it's substantially more now. Mike has scheduled some camera work for the sanitary sewer and the lateral lines there. If that all turns out okay, then we're going to be substantially less, but it could be getting close to a $2 million project for both those. Hopefully a little less, and we think maybe we can swing both of them next year. And of course, that'll be dependent if the school's done too.
That's what we're waiting for.
They need to get done, yep, and they're going to do that band edition now, but that's supposed to be at least enclosed in the spring is what I'm hearing.
You're doing a what?
A band room edition. They invested their bond dollars and they made a lot of interest on it and made some good decisions or good, there was all kinds of things that went into it, but they had a bunch of money left over. And so they're going to use that to do a band edition. And then the old band room, which was part of the old gym, still has the gym floor in it. So that'll turn into another gym. Yep. So if they're done with that, then it would be nice to do Mill Street, the shiny new school there, and it'd be nice to get that road done. So we're going to try hard to do that without messing up the rest of the reconstruction schedule. That's kind of the hard thing to do that and not mess up the rest of it, because we've got a couple other terrible roads coming up in the years after. So last thing I had was just the DFA discharge permit. We should have that at the next meeting. We were working through a one word. We had our attorneys together to figure out the one word, and I think we got there. So that's it for me.
Thanks, Brian. Chief? Matt? Dylan?
Yeah, we're about 1 month out from our festival, so I just wanted to offer an update on that. So the festival is almost exactly 1 month away. As to date, I just counted today, we have 60 arts and crafts vendors, which, it's the 1 day instead of the 3 days. So that number's a lot better than what we projected. We have 11 food and beverage vendors. So that means 3 breweries or wineries. But the one thing I wanted to highlight is our parade applications could use some help. So if you guys in touch with the community know anybody who's been in the parade in previous years, maybe just whisper to them that getting an application. We have about 21 applications now. So we're looking to probably more than double that in these final few weeks. That's my update.
Hey, Dylan, sorry, jump in here.
I was going to say something too, but you go first.
They going to do that car show?
Yes, so the car show is still going on. I mean, everything, car show, arts and crafts fair, fireworks at night. There's going to be a movie. There's 3 different musical acts lined up throughout the day. The dance team whole bunch of activities for one day. It's going to be a pretty jam-packed day. But yeah,
Here's what I would like to do for council and mayor for the parade is doing a joint float of some sort. Having all council members and their spouses and their kids for community can know who we are. I know they know some of you, but not everybody. So my recommendation would be a float, an old tractor on a hay wagon with some hay bales with their family and kids, just saying, hey, mayor, council. That's what I would like to see for the parade.
It's the first year
Can't.
having the thing. I don't think I can pull it off.
I can't, I'm in the golf tournament. Like, I don't know what time I'm getting off the golf course.
See, and I'd like to golf in that too. You doing birdies?
I don't have, I'll be at that.
Okay,
Yeah,
I get it.
just, I'm
We
nervous.
you
I've
can-
never had this.
we do
We
know
have-
that kids, they can't ride in the fire truck.
Exactly.
We get everybody on the fire truck. You put the mayor on the fire truck.
Yeah, put the mayor on the fire truck.
Put them on the old fire.
Well.
I just don't think it.
Yeah, and I get it. And I mean, I get everybody. That would have just been my request.
It's a nice idea.
Okay, thanks.
Gear up for it for next year.
Yeah,
But you can have it all to yourself.
I don't want it all to
Yeah,
myself.
but that
because
has
There's 5 of us.
historically been the mayor's role.
There's 5 of us, so it takes 5 of us and that's. But I
Bob
get it.
didn't say no.
Bob's gotta be in a fire truck.
He can drive the mayor.
So let's, I mean, and I'm okay being in the parade. I would have just want my voice, my opinion that.
I can
That
give you
would
a
be-
cutout of my face if you can hold it.
Hey, Dylan, we
Tina
gotta
on
make
a
sure we
stick.
get the magnet made, the Mayor Hamel magnet.
So
a dunk tank, if you guys want to sign up for that.
Yes, that's right.
I think I think you already got me signed up, don't you, Dylan?
Yeah, I do it. And that's going to
And
be,
the chief, you got signed up too, I hear?
I know, but we talked about it. You might get someone else. Was the last we talked? Yeah. But it's going to be,
I'd like to volunteer Officer Curtis for that.
Yeah.
They all do.
Yeah. I think Tony would be pretty good at it too.
Throwing the ball.
Okay, thanks, Dylan.
it's going to be run by Three Rivers, the dunk tank. And so there's going to be a little bit of a fundraiser for them.
Does everybody know the parade route that we're looking at or that? they're-
No,
they've
that's
set?
again, on the golf course.
East
Avenue.
You should be done by then.
Jefferson all the way down to Fourth.
Sorry. And then, yeah, then they turn off.
And is it free this year?
Yeah, everything's free.
Perfect. Thanks, Dylan. James,
Wait, can I just jump in? Thanks for all your work on it.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, Dave. You're up. Good job on your budget, by the way.
Mike,
Oh, I would like to just say, Park Board got some really nice donations on benches this year. Richard Zwart, he had one a couple years ago in memory of his son Adam. We just recently got the one for his wife Carol installed. Darwin and Mary Tree from the Compassionate Friends Group out of Rochester donated a bench in memory of their son Derek. Joan Sands had a bench donated for Dan King. And the Lions Club donated 3 benches up at East Park, which fit in really nice up there and they look good and they're all set now. So I'd just like to thank all of them for their donations. It really fits into the parks nice. That's all I have.
perfect. Thanks, Mike. I just have one thing. We had the meeting, me and Brian with Angie Craig on the 9th. We visited the State Theater, which I thought went real well. Went to Phenomenal Woman and the boutique, Audra's in the boutique. So good contact. She had some questions for the small businesses and then we ended up having dinner with her at Bridget's, which Bridget's did an amazing job for dinner for us. I mean, it was, I think everybody was talking, oh, wow. So I just wanted to thank for all the small businesses and Angie Craig for visiting Zumbrota again. Sarah? Tina? Chris?
I just wanted to let everybody know I'm working with Troy Ness right now. Breaking something up to send out for the ball fields out here to raise some dollars. Sending a letter to the Twins organization and the St. Paul Saints to try to get some dollars to get some dugouts and a batting cage out there to make it actually a ball field.
Perfect. Thank you. Bob? Meeting adjourned.
Another thing we need to talk about, remember,
Yeah.
we need to do that.
Make sure my electricity isn't over the band.
We need them, the guy called about him complaining.
Your electricity is nuts for the band. Who do you have for the band? Your dad?
Prospects.
And I.
We've been at the bar before and people really like them. They're, no, probably
Oh,
in
no,
their
the front.
50s. And they play just rock music, just bar music.
Wow, this big.
Yeah, at Angie's wedding, she had the thrill builders. I've never actually seen them. They're
I
fantastic.
haven't either.
Yeah, I did. Because I was giving him a little agree.
She's the best out of Jessica.
Brian, I said,
Cisco,
Brian
and
gave me a little
Yeah.
shit,
These
so.
are fantastic. Awesome. Yeah, they were super good. It was fun.
Thanks. It doesn't register my finger.
That's